Hey everybody, it's Andy, Cloudy Milder. This is the third video I've done like this. The first two videos were album related, and in the first I showed all the various versions and pressings I have of the debut Iron Maiden album. A week or so ago, I followed that up with all the copies I have of Anthrax, Spreading the Disease. Had quite a few different copies and different formats of that. This time, I'm showcasing another Anthrax obsession I seem to have had, and this one is perhaps more irrational than the last two. The last two are albums I absolutely love. In this case, it's not an album, it's a single. And it's not actually a single. Well, I'm not going to say I don't like that much, but it's certainly not a favourite single of mine. But it's just one of those irrational collector's things where before you know it, you've got multiple copies of something that you really hadn't intended on collecting, but because you've started down that rabbit hole, you continue. So, a little bit of background. So, in I think September the 19th, 1988, I know exactly where I was. I've mentioned this a few times. I was in the queue outside Spillers Records in Cardiff on release day, skipping the assembly at school, sidling in late, but with this exact copy of State of Euphoria in my grubby mitts. Couldn't wait to get home and play it. It's Anthrax's fourth studio album, State of Euphoria. When I say I was in the queue, as I mentioned many times, I was the only one in that queue, and I couldn't for the life of me understand why the whole of Cardiff wasn't out on release day queuing up and making sure that they could get their hands on State of Euphoria. But this is the album. It's obviously not the single I'm talking about. The single I'm talking about is the first single from that album. There were two released in total: Make Me Laugh in '88 and Antisocial in '89. So the single in question is Make Me Laugh. You knew that already if you recognised the thumbnail to this video. My first copy that I picked up of this, I found also in Spillers Records in Cardiff in 1988, and I grabbed it because it was signed, and I believe, and I still believe to this day, that it's signed by Scott Ian. Not in my presence, but it was just there. I can even remember where it is. You go in through the door, right hand side, and it was in the bins. I'm pretty sure it must have been like a 12-inch section, and I grabbed it. Obviously, I knew nothing about multiple pressings at the time, but this is 12IS379. Now, I'm going to go through the various versions I've got of this, and I have 10 copies, so you don't have to count them all the way through. And this was the first, and I am going to show them in the order that they are listed on Discogs. Now, Discogs tells me that there are 18 different versions of this, but I don't believe Discogs because done quite a bit of research on this single over the years when I've realised I've started to collect. And Discogs has a couple of misentries in there, a couple of duplicates. So there's probably around maybe 15, 16 different copies of this at the most. And so far I have 9, I say so far. Who knows whether I will get them all or whether I will be bothered to get them all. But if they're there, I will grab them at a decent price. So this is 12IS. 379. Now, according to Discogs, this should have come with a poster. It didn't. It just came with the 12-inch vinyl on the Island label. Now, the 12-inch vinyl of Make Me Laugh, 12-inch single, sorry, is backed up with Anthrax's version of the Sex Pistols song Friggin' in the Rigging and Antisocial Live. Anthrax have really got their money's worth out of releasing Antisocial. Say it was on the B side of this, the live version, but they also released a second single, Antisocial. And this version on here and all the others features, is it Bernie Bonvoyson? I think that's how you pronounce it. So obviously Trust did the original version of Antisocial, and Bernie was in that band. So this is the first copy that I had, and I picked it up because it had the signature. And I've looked online, and since 30 years later, and the signature does look genuine. But there we go. I'm not too fussed. I have since picked up the same version, 12 IS 379, with that did actually have the poster with it. Now, I don't know if there was a version of this that didn't have a poster. There is a 12-inch version, 12 ISX 379. We're going to get technical here. That didn't have a poster, and I've not actually had that one. It's probably more. Upside down. There we go. A 4LP size Make Me Laugh cover with the lyrics in big type. So as I get older, I will always be able to read the lyrics, because there'll always be a big print version available for me to read. Now, I am going to have to go through the rigmarole of putting all these back together, because I don't want to get them mixed up and have to figure it all out after. But that's my two 12-inch versions, poster version size. One without the poster, but signed. I may Frankenstein them at some point to make it look like I've got a signed poster copy, but it's not a priority. Next up, we have the European version. The main difference of this one is we have a barcode up here. On the top left, it actually says maxi single 12-inch, if you couldn't tell by the size. And again, it's the same tracks on here. It does have an inner sleeve though, which UK 12 inches didn't really come with, and it is on the sort of purpley blue Ireland label rather than the white UK Ireland label. Same tracks on there, just a different version. Okay, next up we have 12 ISP 379. And that is the 12-inch picture disc version of Make Me Laugh. Again, same tracks. Make Me Laugh, Friggin' in the Rigging, and Antisocial live. And the live version is actually from the Hammersmith Odeon. And just take out the picture disc. And obviously that came in a hard plastic sleeve, so I keep it in an inner sleeve as well. But the out sleeve is printed with the title on the front and the track listing on the back. So that's all the 12-inch versions I have. I say all of them. There is there's the standard 12-inch version, which I don't actually have, and there is an Australia and New Zealand edition, which I've obviously never seen over here. Now we'll go to the 7-inch single versions. First up is the standard IS 379 release. Let me take it out of this. This one is not in great shape. I only picked it up for a couple of quid just to have it. I would actually now like to have one in better condition, because as you can see, it's pretty roughed up. The 7-inch version only had Make Me Laugh and Antisocial live on the back, but it did have a picture label on that side and track listing on the back. So that's the standard black 7-inch with a picture label. Next up we have, again, I think it's the same number. No, this is ISC 379. The subtle difference is what keeps us collectors going. And this, I don't know if you can tell the difference, but this one has the die cut sleeve with the picture label. So when the picture label goes in the right way, it kind of matches up and makes it look like it's not die cut at all. Plain black vinyl version, again, just the 2 tracks. Next, again, ISC 379. Oh, do you know what? I've actually got 11 versions, because I did not realise I had 2 versions of this. Now this is the die cut version with the silver 7-inch label. See, that's thrown me by not preparing properly. I didn't realise I had 2 copies in the same sleeve. I think originally, oh, I know what happened. I bought one of these thinking it was the picture disc version. When it arrived, it was the silver. I complained to the guy and he let me have it for free. So I do have 2 copies of the die cut with the silver label, and then I had to go and find the die cut with the picture label separately. It's a complicated business trying to keep up with the various different versions of singles. It's a rabbit hole I don't recommend anyone go down. So next up we have another 7-inch version. This time it's the red vinyl version. Again with a picture label, same tracks. Now all these colour variations all came out in 1988. This is not the modern trend of putting 43 copies out of the same album with different colours just to get people buying it multiple times. Anthrax clearly way ahead of their time back in 1988. And the last 7-inch version that I have is the yellow vinyl version. Again, picture label, Make Me Laugh, Antisocial on the back, IS 379, Island Records. The last copy that I have is a CD single version, but it's not your ordinary CD single version. It's the Make Me Laugh a triangle package. Comes in this like triangular envelope, CIDP 379. You'd think the standard CD single version would be easy to find. This one is actually easy to find, though quite often the condition of this is terrible. So to find one in fairly decent condition, it's got a wee bit of a crease there, is it was a bit of a score for me. This is one I did actually go out and try and source, rather than some of the others I've picked up when I've had Discogs orders and I've looked at the seller and they're selling a version that I didn't have. So this is the CD single version. I would like actually to get a standard CD single, and there's a Japanese mini CD. I think this looks a bit like an album that we get as well, but that one's really pricey now, so I'm not going to get that. So there we go. So that completes my Anthrax Make Me Laugh singles collection. I thought I had 10 copies of 9 different versions, but it turns out I have 11 copies of 9 different versions. Will I get the rest of them? I don't know. If I saw them, I would certainly grab them. If they were cheap enough, I certainly wouldn't go out of my way for the some of the others that are left. There's the Australian New Zealand copy. There's a Brazilian 7-inch version on Megaforce, and a couple of other CD versions. So one day maybe, but it is not something I'm out of the way. And just to finish off, so the second single, as I said, was Antisocial. Now I only have 2 copies of Antisocial. Who knows whether this will be a rabbit hole that I go down as well. So this is the blue vinyl version, obviously. And this is Antisocial with Parasite on the flip side. And also from the my original 80s collection, I have the 12-inch version, which has Parasite and Les Sex on the flip side, and it's this is the album version of Antisocial rather than the live version that was on Make Me Laugh. And also around that time they released the Penificasin, nice fucking EP, and that also had a version of Antisocial on it as well. According to Discogs, there are 21 versions of Antisocial. 19 to go. Thanks for watching.